welcome.
Hey.
If you're here, then you're not lost, unfortunately.
You're in the right place.
You're in the right place. You're just tuned in to Opin Facts. That's all. That's it. That's all. Don't worry. Don't panic. It's Opin Facts, where we talk openly about the facts and opinions surrounding our culture across generations.
Across generations. And this is it. Across generations.
That's what we do. Okay, that's what we do up in here. All right, I'm your host, Nell. This is my co-host, Dr. J.
Hey.
And as usual, we're happy to be here. Okay, I'm happy that you're here. And I'm just ready to get into it. Okay.
Me too.
This particular topic has me a little heated at the moment, but we just gonna ease into it for them. Okay, we just gonna ease into it.
Wind down.
Well, of course, because we're not doing any of this, none of this until we wind down. Okay,
Yes,
this wind down. Oh goodness, I'm super excited because y'all know we've talked about this before. You know how I love my Stella Rosa. I found this one tucked away in a little hidey corner, and I must say it's giving elegance, royalty, Stella Rosa Platinum French Vanilla.
This is new. I am trying this, y'all, for the first time. So
Yeah, I snuck this up on her at the last minute.
Whatever happens. I'm
You
going
know
to
what
try
I'm
it.
saying? Yeah, but yes.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
Wait.
I know.
Take a second sip.
I know. Isn't it just like the most perfect cupcake you've ever had?
French, but it does. That's it.
That's
Cupcake.
what it is.
Cupcake.
I
yeah.
wasn't sure at first either, but that's what it is. It's a
I love
cupcake.
it. I
It's
love
so
it.
good. So good. So if you like a sweeter, more like dessert wine, Stella Rosa Platinum French Vanilla.
Definitely with your dessert.
You're going to have to look for it, but gonna look for it. Okay?
It's there.
It's good.
I
Real
love
good.
it. Nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
Well, of course, we're going to move on into our icebreaker. Our icebreaker is courtesy of a Best Self conversation cards with all these lovely topics, lovely prompts to just get the conversation flowing in your home, in your friend group, in your group chat, wherever, okay? So what is our icebreaker for today?
Ooh, interesting. What is something you are certain you'll never experience and why? Never ever. I'm not
Never,
doing
ever.
it.
No matter what.
No matter what.
You want to go first?
Even if you're getting $1 million, I can go
Ooh,
first.
Even if, okay,
Yeah.
I can do that.
I tell you what, I am not jumping out of an airplane. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
I'll be there to catch you, my friends,
You know
if
what?
they do, but I am not doing it.
Is it because you're scared of heights, or you just was like
I
the
just-
whole idea is crazy?
Yeah, I just think flying is for birds, and
Facts.
I am not a bird by any means. So I am not jumping out of an airplane.
I just feel like up that high, there should be a barrier between my body and just air and life. You know.
What about you?
Well, something I'm certain I will never experience.
Never ever.
I don't think I will ever in my lifetime experience an abusive relationship. Like, I know it sounds crazy to just like jump to that conclusion, but I'm almost certain, like, regardless of what situation I'm in, like, I'm married now, so like if for whatever reason hell freezes over and I get a divorce, like, I still wouldn't, like, I never put myself in that position. And I mean, currently, like, it's not even an option. Like, my husband's amazing, so I would never even be exposed to that. But I think that's always been a thing for me. Like, I told myself I'd never get in a position, or I would never stay in a position where the person that I was with was abusing me in any way.
So pretty much you know the signs and you would be out of there.
Oh yes, red flags all around, and I'm listening to them. Might not listen to a lot of other stuff, but that I will pay attention to. Okay. All right.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I guess that it's a nice little segue into our topic. Interestingly enough, we are going to be talking about dating in the industry and the fallout of that. Like, what has it been like for people who are famous in the public eye to date and everything is lovely at first and then y'all break up? Like, to me it seems like people react differently depending on who it is. You know what I'm saying? You have your usuals. Like when Kim and Kanye broke up, everyone was like, clap, clap. You know, probably was a long time coming.
Yeah.
But a lot of other people, they get different, you know, feedback. They get different reception when they split from their partner, especially if it's been a long time or if they were both really famous. So what was that like when, you know, you were growing up?
What comes to mind for me, and I guess technically they never got a divorce, Joe and Katherine Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so, famous. Oh, yeah, famous.
They were married for some 60-something years. A long, long time.
Jackson 5, Michael Jackson's parents, man.
Yeah, and we all know what we heard,
right.
what the media portrayed Joe as. Joe felt like he had his reasons for being a strict parent, so you know, because he was trying to keep them out of trouble in that Indiana space where they were, and he felt like he had to really rein them in. In addition to that, he was wild. He was out there, right? So even though she stayed with him all those years, there were many times when she threatened divorce. And also, they lived separately.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They lived separately for, you know, many years, and she said she would go visit him, he would visit her. But I think that's probably why the marriage lasted so long, if you can really call that a marriage.
Right. Not good. Married, but legal separation type situation.
It was said that he was abusive.
Yeah.
You know, some of the children have said that he was abusive.
They have.
And I think a lot of why she never went public about everything that was happening. I mean, my thought is that because of the religion, because they were devout Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, okay. So they don't really believe in like divorce.
Right. So I think that was part of what did that. But the marriage lasted. You know. There were others. I think of Whitney and Bobby.
Bobby and Whitney. There has been many a meme, many a joke about their relationship, unfortunately, and it wasn't funny.
Yeah, they were married for 15, almost 16 years. And it was said, I mean, the media loved how toxic their relationship was, I think. And it was said that they had one of the most toxic relationships in Hollywood. It was a lot of ups and downs. I mean, they were facing addiction, drug addiction. They were alcoholics together, and their marriage was just something that made news. And you know, we have always been this way of eating up the news when it is drama.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and for them, I think they started out with a good relationship. I mean, Bobby once said that they kind of helped each other's careers, because I don't know if you would remember, it was not your time, but you would have seen videos. Early on, she had no rhythm.
Whitney couldn't dance.
She could not dance. Bobby says that he taught her how to dance.
I did not know that.
And, you know, she was the one who had all the vocal training, because, you know, all that singing was in her family. So
the girl could sing, but had 2 left feet. The more you know.
He credited her for helping him to blend notes and learn how to sing.
Oh, yes, because she was good at. She was
right.
Good at that.
So they had their relationship could have been a good one, but for the drugs.
Right.
Sometimes
that's all it takes.
Yeah. The one thing that I want to clear up for poor Whitney and her death,
right,
is that, but it's really for Bobby. They were both drug users before they were married. It's been always said that Bobby got her into this.
Right. That's what everyone heard. Everyone heard that it was Bobby who got Whitney hooked on drugs.
Yeah.
But they both were equally responsible for their own actions, because I mean, they're adults.
She had
but it's just so interesting how people framed them, like in contrast to Joe and Katherine, where they were more so kind of, they felt bad for Catherine, and they kind of were really upset and surprised that Joe was this person behind the scenes. And then you got Whitney and Bobby, where they were like, those two fools, you know what I'm saying? Because they were always seeing them. So they were like, the two of them were to blame, and they both were responsible for their actions.
We know that Whitney was in and out of rehab.
Yep.
Right? And that's, Bobby was being arrested. It's something about that toxic nature of their relationship that I think made them feel at some point that it was us against the world. I remember that scene of her in the courthouse. Bobby!
Oh, yes.
Right?
They even made that into, Kanye used that for a song he had.
Not surprised.
It's just crazy how you think something that is supposed to be private, you know what I'm saying? Just splitting a relationship is like a private thing, and then everyone has their opinion and their takes on it, and they spin it, and it's just madness.
Yeah, I mean, rumor has it that they had a physical fight with a knife on their honeymoon.
A knife?
Yeah.
On your honeymoon?
On your honeymoon. So, just toxic.
Wow.
And it played out in the media, and then they, I think, made that grave error of doing that reality show.
Oh, yes.
And
my goodness.
I think sometimes you have to know that you can't bring the world
into your business like that.
Every aspect of your life.
True.
I mean, I think that's something that people should, even people who aren't famous, sometimes you need to just leave people out of it and handle stuff. And I think that was a big mistake. So, but before I touch on one of my other hot ones, who do you have in your generation?
Well, we have seen many a relationship just not go as great. They don't all end, but we've seen the Beyonce and Jay-Z situations, and like I said, with Kim and Kanye, and I mean nearly everybody he's been with at this point. And you begin to question, is it them or is it us? I mean, even as early as the 90s, you had Dr. Dre and Michelle A.
Oh, I heard about that.
Who they were together. They were very young, and they got together really fast, and things went downhill really fast. There were kids involved. She moved from Dre to Suge, and then when everything when all was said and done, you were just kind of left with these pieces like, well, we don't really care to know who this girl is, but Dr. Dre and Suge Knight are those guys, and you don't talk bad about them. So it got to a point where the abuse that she suffered, no one even believed or knew about until she told her story and came out with her side of things. And after the movie about their group, she said, well, after all of that was going on, or while all of that was going on, I was getting abused. I was also a person in this situation. So you had that. You got Chris Brown and Rihanna.
Oh yeah, that's
Chris Brown and Rihanna / Karrueche / whoever else he's been with. And with the Chris and Rihanna situation, here's what's fascinating about it. I'll speak on it because it's pretty current news now that Chris is sort of back in the tabloids for his collab with Chloe Bailey. And when we look back, we saw a situation that we did not know a lot about. We saw a situation that we took at face value because, Rihanna put that picture out, and we saw the one side, but we weren't there. So the only two people that know what really went down is Chris and Rihanna. But the way we handled it as like a society was, you would think it was the right thing to do. We blamed him because, of course, he shouldn't have put his hands on her. But fast forward, she's forgiven him. She's moved on, and we're still vilifying this man for that specific situation. Now, if he continues to be an abuser, hypothetically, then he should still in some way be punished. But I don't think we should hang this man out to dry, especially if he has changed, for this one situation that the person that it happened to has forgiven him for.
And that's a lot of the problem that we face today. Once you put it out there,
it's out there.
Even after you have moved on,
the world
in your regular life, folks, even after you've moved on, the people you know or the people who you've involved in your relationship might not move on.
Right.
And so they're the ones that keep bringing it up. So, just, I guess, be careful what you put out there.
Right. Because once it's out there, especially with the internet, once it's out there, nothing on the internet dies.
Yeah.
So you just gotta be mindful. of how you present yourself.
One of my favorite toxic couples.
Ooh.
Ike and Tina Turner.
Oh, right? Such a fave. We love good old Ike and Tina, don't we?
16 years of marriage.
16.
Yeah.
Rocky, 16 years.
Rocky, rough, passionate,
successful, wild.
It was like a roller coaster.
Yes.
So Tina once said that the public, the press, had that picture of her, of that one time when she, pretty much turned him in. And we saw her with busted lips.
Yep.
She had dark eyes. She was bleeding, broken bones, and pretty much, psychologically tormented by him. But she felt that was just a part of her everyday life because she got used to it. When we saw it, it was what?
It was normalized for her by that point. She was like, oh, well.
She once said in an interview that being with him was like being in a prison.
Wow.
And he was the jailer. So that's how she felt. But what did we see? We saw the great hits that they did in the 60s. And now, when I look back on the names of those songs, I wonder. A Fool in Love. I mean, these were hits.
Wow. She was telling us.
Poor Fool.
Ooh, Poor Fool.
And then I Idolize You.
Wow.
And she did say that throughout this whole thing, she loved him. And it's almost one of those situations where you feel like love will overcome.
Right. You think, but
everything. But there's something she said in, this was her words, her movie about her life. And she said, I don't look back. I don't dwell on what happened. I wouldn't change anything because every experience, good or bad, has made me the person that I am today.
It has?
I thought that was profound. And she credits a lot of who she is today with her religion because, the story was that, during that time she found peace in Buddhism.
Yeah.
Right? So she says that is what keeps her grounded to this day. But despite all that happened in her life, and we would have said, poor Tina.
Right.
But she doesn't pity herself. And I think that's interesting.
And I'm glad that the media didn't pity her. I think instead of the reception that maybe Catherine received as oh no, poor lamb, I can't believe this was happening to her. It was more so, go girl, for getting out of that situation. She was stronger. She came
What's
out
love got to do
right.
with?
She came out so much better, and I think everyone was just proud of her more than they were sorry for her. So I think it's so interesting how the viewpoints change with different situations. And you would think that we've all learned. You would think with everything that's gone on, you wouldn't see these new age, celebrities having the same issue. But then you have Blueface and Krishan Rock, where it seems like their entire life, their entire relationship is just punches and blows and hits and arrests and I think that's the situation. I think she might be, and the media keeps creating relevance for them, so it's kind of hard when you're being fed the likes, the comments, and the attention to separate from that, to quit that viewpoint of your life where you're on top. But at what cost? And then you start to look at the situation a little deeper and wonder, well, now who's actually beating who? Who was actually responsible for this turmoil? Because what we're used to seeing is the man is beating the woman. The man is beating the woman. But it, begs the question, is this a case of, reversed roles? Or are we really seeing relationships go so far downhill that we can't even tell anymore?
I think a topic we might need to explore is what I call the concept of media hunger. That I think that a lot of celebrities go through, especially the younger ones. I think the older people are ready to fade into black now, and just enjoy life as Tina is. But media hunger,
Media hunger. Well, if y'all want it, you're asking for it, we'll give it to you for sure, because I definitely think it's something that needs to be talked about. But I mean, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time, really. And I think we could save a lot of people from these situations. We could stop this generational curse in its tracks, and not further this cycle of abuse. Love each other, really, truly, deeply, safely, and love yourself. That's where it starts.
Love us, and don't forget to like, subscribe,
comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell their mama, to tell their mama's friends, and their cousins' friends.
Your mama can listen, and you can listen.
Exactly. And we would love for y'all to tune in to our next episode every Friday. It's Opin Facts. We'll see y'all next time. I'm in the back room of Wally's. I spent $30,000 on somebody's grapes. There's so many pull-ups on nigga, no wonder we getting in shape. Too busy backing my words up with actors to ever go front of your face. What? Go to the drink.